Good morning, everybody. Mike Vacchi, Princetontrader.com, here with your Monday market webcast. Okay, daily chart, and we're kind of presented with a really strange market. You got two things going on at once that are very different, at least in my world. Here on the daily chart, you've got an upper band ride. Here, and we re-engaged overnight. So that's 3 days worth. That's pretty trendy. The bands were tight back here on August the 5th. They came in a little bit here, but they're going ahead and they're expanding right back out to the upside. So that's one thing that's happening on the longer term chart. You go to an intermediate term chart, like an hourly, and here's what you've got. You got massive consolidation. These are very tight Bollinger Bands, and we are just dripping higher. So you have two things happening at once that traders just absolutely can't stand. You've got a upper band rally on the daily that didn't really come out of nowhere, but it was after a couple of rejection candles. So it rejects there, and then goes and keeps going. People hate those. They fight them all day long. At the same time, on the hourly, you've got all this limited volatility. These are hourly candles. They look like 5-minute candles. These are hourly candles. So we had a very good week and a not so good Friday. Friday was this paper cut city. There's going to be, there are going to be days in the life of any trader where you just can't get it going, and that was most definitely Friday for me. Not any big red numbers, just a bunch of little red numbers and a couple little green numbers, and just we should have called it a day on Thursday. It ended up being about 85 handle weeks, 85 since Tuesday on a shortened week. So I'll take it, but those tight bands bleeding to the upside, and a little false breakdown there off the open, and then just a lot of chop. It's just a lot of chop. It's hard to trade chop. And the reality is, if we're breaking out or trying to break out on the daily, it feels like we're at a short-term inflection point here. But the reality of the daily chart is, it's already started to rally for a move back up to the 30.29 half high. And I think once some of these shorts that are trying to fight this from these two candles back here are done getting their nose bloodied, probably the next 50 handles to the upside in this tape comes pretty quick. The only thing you feel the bear sitting around waiting for is news. And if they don't get the news, it's not going to come back. But you should view this as a ticking time bomb. This much consolidation, bands this tight, will precipitate a very big move. Which is why, a false breakout like this and a false breakdown like this has to be taken into account. Where people tend to get themselves into trouble in a tape like this is overtrading, assuming the direction of the expansion, and it's really hard not to assume that the direction of the expansion here is to the upside, especially since we just continue to drip and bleed higher, and a little bit after 6 o'clock in the morning we made the latest high at 29.8975. My concern is a head fake up to a band ride down on the hourly chart. The one thing that goes against that is what's happening on the daily chart. So like I said, it's a very strange situation that we find ourselves in this morning. So when I get into strange situations like this, I try to keep it pretty simple and keep risk pretty normalized. So normalized risk for me is to say, okay, where's the hourly midband? Where's volume weighted average price? You want to be long above that. If that converts, that opens the door to heading back down to the lower bands on the hourly, which would be like 78. So for now, we're long. We've been long. We're long in the 83s, and we're just kind of letting it knock around. So volume weighted average price is 86.25. Hourly midband is about 85. So 84, 85 for me is the bull bear. If they can convert that, they can get back to 78. If these bands open up to the downside, then the target for me, this chart is missing one line. The new weekly pivot is down at 29.53.42. If this band tightening expands to the downside, that's an area, maybe not today, but over the course of the next day or two, that would have to be something that would get a look to the downside. If we expand to the upside, then we will spend most likely the entire week above the weekly pivot, and we get back to what I said back on Tuesday into Wednesday morning. Wednesday morning, I said we were lifting out of a small consolidation. I did not expect to be back to the weekly pivot. Well, it might have grinded and been a pain in the ass during Friday's regular session, but we did not go back to that weekly pivot, and it ended up being a really nice week. So, all right, take care. More stuff out on social. Come check out the room. Trade them well. I'll talk to you soon.
Follow us over on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at Princeton Trader. Check us out on Facebook and join us for a free trial at www.princetontrader.com. Trade them well.